What's up guys, JV2017 here, and today I'm mixing things up by bringing you an Overwatch video. Ever since competitive mode came to the game on Xbox One less than a week ago, my friends and I have been grinding away at those placement matches, getting all 10 of them. Unfortunately, our win-loss ended up being 5-5, which is not as good as we usually are in public mode, so that was a bit disappointing, and I ended up with a personal rank of 50, which left me feeling exceptionally average. Like, you know, you're not anywhere near 100, which is good, or 1, which is terrible. You're just 50, right in the middle. So I thought, hey, you know what, that's actually no big deal. I'll just hop into competitive with pretty much a pre-made and see how we do and rank up my own individual rank. That was kind of the idea. The following several matches showed me a few things. First off, I really love competitive mode. It is truly competitive. Going in there with a pre-made is a lot of fun, and really grinding it out, trying your hardest with your buddies is a really rewarding experience. However, at the end, I was always extremely disappointed with the rewards that I was getting in terms of my individual player rank. I didn't catch my elimination to death ratio or however many medals I was getting in these matches, but the first 4 competitive matches after being placed went like this. First game was a win, and I gained literally 5% of a level towards 51, so I thought, hey, maybe this is going to take a while. Our next game was a loss. It was our first loss, and I lost 70% of a rank. I went all the way down to only, what would that be, 35% of progress towards 50. So I was ranked 49 with only 35% progress towards the next level. And so I thought, oh my goodness, did I really perform that badly? And I certainly did not, and so I'll get to that in a second. Next, our next game, we won. It was our second win, and I gained another 5% of a level. So at this point, I was like, something seems up. What is up with this mode? What is up with this ranking system? I don't know what's going on. And then our fourth game was another loss, and we lost another 70% of a level, just down like that. And there I found myself at rank 48 after playing 4 games and going 2-2 on our win-loss ratio. During those games, I can't recall an exact elimination to death ratio overall, but I can say that at worst, I got a mix of bronze and silver medals throughout those games, and at best, I got a couple gold medals, you know, whether it be damage dealt or, you know, objective time. I'm usually the one with a lot of objective time on our pre-made teams, and so I'm just thinking, why am I losing this individual progress when I clearly did, you know, contribute? I think the only time I negatively impacted my team was when I went maybe like a 17 eliminations and 16 deaths game, which is still positive if you're, you know, using eliminations, but of course that's kills and assists. And so I contributed more than I died, but maybe that wasn't the best performance. I don't think that's great in competitive, and I probably should have lost, you know, a good amount of personal, you know, rank on that game in particular. That was probably one of those, you know, losing 70% of a level games. But wow, I got it a second time, and I did not perform that badly on that game in particular. I wish I had some more concrete numbers to share with you guys, and maybe I'll do that, actually track my progress and kind of report back in a future video on the channel. That sounds like a good idea to me. But after this initial experience, I came back feeling frustrated. And so I hopped online and kind of looked things up and found that a lot of other people were experiencing the same frustration with this, you know, individual competitive ranking system. I came across one post in particular that talked about, you know, some similar issues here, and also linked to a blue post made by Jeff Kaplan, which is the game's director. And so this is the guy that's pretty much been talking to media about different changes that are coming to the game. And so I thought it shared some insight into how this individual ranking system actually works. And so here is the post. I'm just going to read it verbatim. In Overwatch, whether your MMR, which is matchmaking rank, goes up or down is contingent on winning or losing. So that is it. If you win, you are going to get progress. And if you lose, you are going to lose progress to your individual rank. But there are a number of factors that determine how much that rating goes up or down. So if you do win, then apparently there is some kind of factoring system going on there that will determine how much you actually will go up in rank. Unfortunately for me, in my first 4 games, 2 of those were wins, and I didn't see any difference in, you know, moving up. So it almost felt like that was the absolute minimum, like I was performing the absolute minimum on my team to get any upward momentum. He goes on to say, for example, what map you're playing on and whether you are attacking or defending is factored in. We know the win rates on attack defend on all of the maps, and we normalize accordingly. Not all wins and losses are equal. We also look at your individual performance on each of the heroes you played during that match. Everyone has better and worse heroes, and we have tons of data showing us what performance levels should be like on those heroes. We also look at your opponents and whether or not their matchmaking rating is higher or lower than yours. These are just a few of the things that are considered when determining how your skill should go up or down. At no point in MMR calculations do we look at your win-loss ratio, and win-loss ratio is never used to determine who to match you with or against. We are not trying to drive your win-loss percentage towards a certain number, although the fact that so many people are at 50% win rates makes us extremely happy. All the system does when it comes to matching on skill is attempt to match you with people of a similar number. Here's a few things I took away from this paragraph. First off, your rank goes up if you win, and it goes down if you lose, no matter what. The amount of gain loss depends on factors such as map selection, whether you attacked or defended, individual performance on the heroes you played with, and your opponent's performance, and a lot other things. And they stress that there's so much more going on underneath the hood. Here's a specific example that stresses the map selection and attacking or defending. So if you defend on a map that is statistically hard to defend on, then you should see a good amount of ranking upwards if you indeed do defend and you win the game. If you attack on a map that is normally easy to attack on, and statistically, you see a lot of victories from attacking teams, then you shouldn't see much upwards momentum on your rank. So that is literally one factor, and we don't really know however many there are. And that's kind of the issue that I have with this ranking system. And maybe it's trade secrets. Maybe they're just trying to give us a few bits and pieces of how they calculate their MMR because they don't want other companies to take this and make a better product and make a better competitive mode. And I understand all that. It's business, right? But it would be really consumer friendly, I think, make everyone a lot more comfortable if Blizzard made some of these statistics public, not their exact internal procedures on how they get their rankings and whatnot. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this map selection thing, this idea that if you attack on a certain map that's hard to attack on and you win, you succeed. And I want to see, the exact percentage. Like, is there a 40% chance of people attacking and winning on Mumbai, which is the map that we're on right now? And if that's the case, and I attack and successfully on this map, then I should get some real solid upward momentum. I'd like to see that kind of transparency. And another thing that doesn't make quite a lot of sense is my personal rank, my MMR, is actually affected by my team's performance. And if you think about the way that things have been explained, it really should not be. Why should I be punished if I'm doing really exceptionally well? Let's say I do really well as a Reaper, for example. My personal performance as Reaper is really good. It's statistically better than most Reapers, yet we lose that game. Why should I lose rank because my team lost the game? And especially so if we're playing 6 solo players versus 6 solo players in no groups. I planned on doing a lot more complaining in this video, but I went to record some footage because I hadn't recorded any Overwatch for this specific video. I played some competitive, and I had a huge progress gain by winning a game. And this is the first time I had ever seen this. I was playing Junkrat. I went 17-5 on my elimination to death ratio. I got 1 gold medal for damage dealt, and I gained almost 70% of a level, almost as much as I had been losing in those lost matches with almost a full team. But this time, it was a solo victory. What I mean by that is that there were no teams. No 2 people were grouped up. It was 6 individuals versus 6 individuals. And also it was a sudden death victory. And that's also something that makes me think could have tipped the scales on how much I earned. But sudden death victories are not often. It's not often that in a payload match you're going to get the same amount of payloads moved, to the same amount of positions because it works differently in competitive, and then you're going to force a sudden death. And, if those people lost on the other side, did they lose a ton of progress? Did they lose a little bit? There's just so much that we don't know. And again, trade secrets, I've already talked about that. I just think having statistics out there would help us understand why we're losing a bunch of progress or why we're gaining a bunch in this game. Because I didn't feel like this performance was that much better than what I did when I won those other games with a full team. Anyways, guys, I'm just advocating for more transparency. I think Blizzard needs to let us know a little bit more about why we're losing as much progress as we are when we lose a game, or why we're gaining as much when we win a game. I'm truly dumbfounded as to why this sudden death match, gave me such a big boost, and I only got like 5% progress on another match when I won. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I invite you guys to share your thoughts on competitive mode in Overwatch in the comments below. Do you think this ranking system is working? Do you think it needs some kind of tweaking, or do you just look for more transparency like I do? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, today I shared my thoughts on the Overwatch competitive mode and its ranking system. If you learned something new or enjoyed this video, remember to hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.